So whenever I did Exile, like that's kind of that analogy that I'm bringing in. Like it was
Yeah,
just
dude.
so like, flawless. Like it was so natural,
Hmm.
and that's how I knew I was like, man, this is where I'm supposed to be,
Dude, that's
and
cool.
we're not slowing down.
Dude, that is really cool, man. And like here you guys are now, and stuff for like 10,000 plus followers later, and like that's just
Yeah.
really really cool, man. Just to see like just the growth over time, man. It's like sometimes it literally is just time, like waiting and like the
Hmm.
patience, like you were saying and stuff earlier, is like just waiting for the things to take root and just continue like doing the things that you know what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Round Table Podcast, man. We've got the Mr. CEO of Exile Gaming, Exile Esports. These guys, man, over here in the Twitter space, the gaming space, man, they do a whole lot within the community. I met them. I think I met you guys, man, in the past. I think it was the Halo, like the 2.5K or is it 25K? I can't remember.
Yeah, the Halo 2.5K in Oklahoma.
Yeah, dude. Yes, yeah. So we've got
Yeah.
the Exile Gaming CEO with us, man. Today we're gonna be talking through just kind of what they're doing in the space, what they have done, and just learning some more orgs or whatever within inside the space for all the gamers out there. But nonetheless, man, just take it away. I just kind of want to like who are you? Who's Dylan? Who's Mr. Exile Avenger? The man.
Well, to put it long story short, I'm a designer at heart that loves gaming and
Yeah.
loves business. And I'm an architectural designer full time. I do architectural designs for commercial
Okay.
buildings. And then I picked up Exile Gaming in 2016. I stopped it because I was like, well, I was a kid, didn't know what I
Yeah.
was doing.
I feel that.
Came came back April of last year. We started back up or we had 400 followers at the time. That was left over from the previous Twitter,
Wow.
and it just started taking off. And
Dang.
so now Exile Gaming is we're sitting at 14.3 thousand followers. We have
Heck
a
yeah.
full NFT collection of 1,000 NFTs that are going live in a couple weeks. We have YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, it's Instagram, Twitch.
Dude.
We're going crazy right now.
Heck yeah, man. That is awesome. That's freaking sweet, dude. You guys got a ton of stuff like in the space. And I mentioned before, just like I met you guys at that January land. I think it was in January, right? The
Yeah,
2.5K.
January.
Okay.
Mm.
Will you explain a bit, just the process of like how that kind of like came about? Like, how did you guys get involved? Just like, hey, let's throw a land. Like, how did that come up?
So we realized the Halo scene. That's when the Halo scene was popping
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
game has very sadly died off. But the we were kind of just looking at it, and there's something that we kind of just do here in Exile, and that's if we have an idea, we just run with it.
Yeah.
There's we don't put any brakes on it. We just go. Obviously you have to have risk assessment,
Oh, for sure.
and
Absolutely.
so if it's not too crazy, we'll go for it. And
Yeah.
so we were all talking like we were like, what if we ran a LAN? And everyone was like, yeah, but we have no experience. I was like, yeah, but I didn't have any experience. I started an organization. I see how that's going.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we could figure out a LAN.
Oh, yeah.
And a month later, a bunch of crazy talks. We started at $5,000 prize pool.
Yep.
That's when COVID started coming back and hitting.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And AGN was doing a huge $25,000 event. They canceled the event.
I remember that one
There's
actually. That was the COD event, right?
yeah,
Dude, that one was
yeah,
like insane. It was like a crazy thing at that time too, because like I was planning for that for our guys actually, and like we had a
mm,
ton of stuff set up, everything was all set up, and then like I think it was like a day before, or the 2 days before, or something like
yeah.
that. But like it wasn't even AGN's fault. It was like
No, it was the
the hotel or
casino.
the casino. Yeah, the casino like messaged
Yeah,
everybody out, was like, hey, it's not happening. I was like, dude, you didn't even tell the guy that was putting it on first. I was like,
yeah.
it's crazy,
I
crazy stuff.
felt so bad. I messaged him. I was like, man, I know that sucks,
Oh
but
yeah.
you gotta kick through it. And
Hmm.
so Um, then two more events canceled, and we were like, "Well, shit, we're the last one." So we only had
Right.
12 teams signed up. So we're supposed to have 32.
Holy cow.
And so we're sitting there, we're thinking about it. We're like, we could run this event, we could take a hit, and still throw an awesome event on for the community and put that under our portfolio,
Right.
or we could just cancel.
Hmm.
We decided to run it. We took it down at 22.5K. We thought people were going to be pissed.
Right.
But we were really open about it, and we were like, "Hey, we're just letting everyone know what's going on. Like, we can't run a 5K event. We don't have the money for
Yeah.
it."
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone was actually really excited that we were still doing it because we were the last one. We
Dude,
were the
yeah.
last people hosting an event,
That's
and
crazy.
so We had a ton of people show up. We had one dad. He was like, I bought this as a Christmas gift for my kid.
Dude,
We're so happy to be here. Yeah, it was an
heck yeah.
awesome event.
Dude, those are the
Everything.
stories, man.
I'm telling you, it was just warm. Just that warmth of like
Dude,
this.
it does, man. It's like it warms the heart and stuff. It tugs on the heartstrings. It's like those, man. Those stories right there is like why the big events and stuff like that, or like putting things on for the community and everything is like such a
Yeah,
big deal because it's like it's the community itself. It's not like
yeah,
yes, the orgs are involved in everything, but it's like drawing that gaming community and how cool it is to see other people compete against other players and stuff. It's like, dude, I beat everybody, or we stacked up this way, or stuff like that. It's just a cool feeling and stuff to compete like that.
yeah. And that event had a ton of problems. Oh my god,
Really?
that event had
Dude, it's like that's
crazy.
crazy because I remember like showing up the first. I think it was the first day I was able to come. I wasn't able to come the second day, but or I can't remember one of the days. But I remember it's like, dude, it like to me it seemed like everything was running super smooth as soon as I walked in, bro.
Yeah, behind the scenes, man, we were losing it because we were trying to figure out. Tim, the owner of Rewind, he's no longer the owner, but shout out to him. He's actually helping. We have a side project going on right now that I can't talk about that he's
Yeah,
helping us with. There's
cool,
a
man.
hint there.
Awesome.
But
Plug.
anyways, he was awesome. He was
That's
like,
awesome.
so he gave us the original price of the venue. We were like, hey, like we're gonna be running thin. And he was like, look, I'll cut it in half for you guys. So he
Wow,
only made us pay half of the venue fee. He's really what saved that entire event
dude. Wow,
because we only had to come out of pocket like $400 or $500, and well,
man.
more than that, because they had to make Airbnb,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
travel,
exactly, exactly.
team, But the tournament itself, we only came out about $300-$400. So
Dude.
because of Tim, or we would have
Yeah.
been out $1,000
Dude, I get
plus.
that, man. I do like Tim's a great guy out there, man. I've had a lot of conversations
He's
with him. It's just
awesome.
the way he runs things and stuff are definitely catered towards like the community and keeping that thing like a respectable like
Yeah,
establishment and stuff too. Is like I respect that of him and stuff and just what he does in there. It's really really cool.
it's really awesome, and so, but now we're on to crazier things. So we created a documentary
Dude,
over
I
that
was gonna bring
experience.
that up, bro. I was like, I watched that. I think that whenever you guys released, I think it was in January when you guys released it. But it's like I remember watching it just after the land, and I watched it actually just
Yeah.
recently again. But dude, super cool. Go in depth of like how long that took to kind of like process, and not even just process, but how long it took to put together.
Uh, so I originally had the idea when, of course, Optic, as there's Optic
Oh
Vision,
yeah, dude, love that.
and I wanted to kind of touch on that, and we decided to call it Patience
Hmm.
because it's basically what it is in the
Yeah,
scene
dude,
right now. It's patience and
that's a
hard
good title
work.
for it. Absolutely.
And so we just kind of ran with it. We had our videographer and photographer Mochi
Hmm.
fly
I remember
out,
meeting him.
and
Yeah.
yeah, we messed up because we didn't make a storyboard.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
at the end of it, you'll see I kind of just compiled all the clips from like the start of the trip to the end of the trip
Yeah.
because we didn't do like at midnight we had to drive and go pick up our caster in
Right.
Kansas,
Yes.
and that was a mess. We were supposed to do it the next morning, but we were like, oh shit, we don't have enough time. And then
Yeah.
I came up with a stupid idea. We're sitting on the couch at Airbnb. I was like, what if we just go now? Expecting everyone to be like, no, and everyone was like, all right, let's go. I was like, what? I was like, it's a
That's
6 hour
crazy, bro.
drive.
Oh my gosh, bro, that's good. That's freaking crazy, bro. Those are the good times too, man. Just like the 6 hour drives, late nights
Dude,
and stuff with your friends. That's dope.
and I'm in Houston. I'm not used to a real feel of -13.
Oh, dude,
Um,
golly, it's unreal, bro. It's a different feeling for sure.
it is different. I thought something was wrong with my car because it didn't want to start, and I was
Yeah,
like, "What the hell's going on?" Thankfully, Johnny was in the car with me,
yeah,
icy chiller,
yeah, dude.
and he was like, "It's just cold," and I was like, "Oh my god, I've never experienced this."
Yeah, bro. That's so
And
good.
so, like, that whole fiasco, like we
Hmm.
never like really brought it up, and so all the footage we had from that never got used.
Dang,
The
man.
trip up there we didn't talk about.
Yeah,
We didn't. There's just so much that we recorded that we didn't bring up in the interviews, and so
yeah.
now we know for episode 2.
Absolutely, dude. I think too, just like making small clips or like in essence it's like a TV show in a way
Yeah,
in essence, but like making those, man, and putting those things together, trying to build that storyline of like the events of taking place over a 3 day period or like however long. But man,
yeah,
it's a really hard thing to do to like keep the story going, keep it like interesting, not even just interesting but the flow of it, it's a challenging task for sure, and
it's a
wanting the
challenge.
and I don't know, wanting to keep the clips that are like oh, dude, this would be so cool to have in there. Is like, how do we fit it in there with the storyline? Like that's tough to do too. It's very interesting to
That's
me. Like I love that stuff.
it was awesome. It was I actually edited it, and it
Really?
took
Oh, dude,
yeah, it took a minute
I'm
because I couldn't
curious.
figure out
Yeah.
how to put those clips in there.
Oh, dude, it's
So
freaking. It
it
is
was
rough, bro. I've done a couple of like whatever the ATK game, like the gaming episode one that we have and stuff on
Mhm.
our channel, or I think it's on my channel. But we just recently put
Yeah.
like up a new channel now for just the org. But that one took me, dude. It took me a hot minute to do. It was like late nights, man, just trying to like fit everything together that still looked good and stuff, and paid attention to the storyline and stuff too. But it's
Yeah.
a challenge, man, nonetheless.
It is, and that's why I'm thankful that our editor, he's been with us forever, and
Yeah,
just a few months ago, he's been with us for over a year, and I was like, dude, finding an editor is so hard because everyone wants like that patience episode
dude.
probably would have cost me like $500-600 to get edited.
Yep.
Then he tells me he was like, I can edit. I was like, how long have you been
Yeah, dude.
here?
How
Brings
long
it
did
up. I was
you?
like, come
You're
on.
just now telling us. Come on, man. That's freaking funny. I'm curious too, man. Like, how did you guys come up with the name like Exile Esports? Like, when did that? Like, so you said you started it when you were younger, but like, how did that? How'd you come up with the name? And then like moving on with that, like, how'd you come back to wanting to do it?
Oh man, so originally, so I've actually been running organizations, more like
Yeah,
clans,
yeah,
since
yeah,
I
yeah.
was probably like I don't know 10 or 11. First, it was RGX, and
Okay,
then it was Blade Gaming, probably when I was about 15,
okay,
and then it turned into Exile Gaming. I forgot why I called it Exile.
nice, dude.
I think it was just one of those names that I was just like,
It's
man,
just cool,
just
bro. It gives like that outcast kind of like
yeah.
vibe to me. Like when I hear it, it's like, oh, dude, the outcast. Like, yeah, dude, that's dope, bro. I vibe with the name for sure.
Thank you, man. And so, yeah, I ran it for about a year and a half, and then, I kind of fell off it. I went more into business.
Okay,
I started a web design company when I was 16.
okay,
Did pretty good with that. That was a nice little side hustle. And then I started a t-shirt company that failed. I started a logo design company that failed. I started a drop shipping company that failed.
dude, wow.
Um, I did
Challenges.
yeah, I did a men's subscription box. I spent 6 months on that. I still have 200 of them in the back room.
Wow.
That failed.
I feel it, bro.
I have a list in my notebook of 13 businesses I started and failed.
Wow.
And then I came back into gaming. It got to a point because I used to also compete, and
Yeah.
it got to a point where I couldn't watch gaming video. I couldn't watch like Optic, Phase, because that like sense of regret I would
Mm.
have, and that sense of like, man, I'm missing out. Like if I would have just stayed with it, and just like sometimes I remember I watched an episode of Vision back when it was still called Vision. And
Yeah.
I started like tearing up. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm out of these sports. So, like that's how like strong my passion was.
I get it. Yeah.
And I started it up, and it started going crazy, and then not like crazy in the sense of like everything started like popping.
No.
We're
Yeah.
still an organization in a very saturated market.
I
But
agree with that.
things just fell in line. There's something that my sister told me a long time ago. She's 10 years older than me,
Hmm.
and we were talking about relationships.
Yeah.
And I was like, she got married. She after 5 relationships, she found someone, and she got married after 6 to 8 months. Then
Wow.
she got married,
Yeah.
and I was like, we were all like, Dusty, that's so fast.
Hmm.
And we were talking about it, and she was like, Dylan, when it's not a constant battle. Like, of course, you're gonna have your fights, you're gonna have your
Absolutely.
struggles, but when you're not battling back and forth consistently, and it's just kind of just meant,
Mm.
just y'all are together.
Yeah.
She goes, that's how you know. And then so whenever I did Exile, like that's kind of that analogy that I'm bringing in. Like it
Yeah,
was just
dude.
so like, flawless, like it was so natural,
Hmm.
and that's how I knew. I was like, man, this is where I'm supposed to be,
Dude, that's
and
cool.
we're not slowing down.
Dude, that is really cool, man. And like here you guys are now and stuff for like 10,000 plus followers later, and like that's just
Yeah.
really, really cool, man. Just to see like just the growth over time, man. It's like sometimes it literally is just time, like waiting and like the
Hmm.
patience, like you were saying and stuff earlier, is like just waiting for the things to take root and just continue like doing the things that you know what to do. And like even if you don't know what to do, know the things or like do the things that you know to do. Like
Oh,
the
for
small
sure.
things, the small things that you know to do is like with at least just content or at least just working this or at least
Mhm.
like you have to have money for it, so it was like stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you, man.
Heck yeah.
It's a lot of surrounding yourself with strong people
Ooh,
too
dude,
in this scene.
that's a big one, bro. And like
It
I think
is
it's
the
hard in
biggest.
this scene too right now. I think it's just I know we've got the culture, not just of gaming culture and stuff too, but just the culture of like the world today and stuff is very.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more so slower to help people and be involved with someone's like journey and stuff, and to hop on board with someone than it has been in the past. I think, and man, that's a
Yeah,
really
it
tough
has.
thing.
It is. And so many people. I mean, especially it's just esports thing in general. There's a lot of people that are flaky.
Oh
There's a lot
yeah.
of people that just they have egos, and
Yep.
I've caught players in the act because sometimes like I'm a very active owner.
Hmm.
I'm always in my Discord. I'm always talking to my teams. I'm
Yeah,
always
dude.
with my creators, and so at the same time, like if I join like a one of the channels, sometimes they don't hear it when I come in. I literally heard one of my players say one time, not with us anymore,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
They're basically explaining how they're just using Exile for like team passes and
Man,
gear and shit like that. And I was
dude.
like, it's just one
Yep.
of those things you have to deal with.
I agree. Like that's one thing I think is like a lot of orgs are like voicing it now is that like
Yeah.
how many people come up just wanting the team pass and stuff, right? Like we'll say that now and stuff. It's like, man, like there's more to this than just like the team pass. Like you have like there has to be something that you can give the organization too, because like it can't be just we help you out and then like see you later type of thing. It's like it has
Oh
to be
yeah.
like you help us out and like and we'll help you out and type of thing and whatever. Like it's
Right.
a growth thing together. It's not like just one person.
At the end of the day, it's a business. We're at that phase now
Yes.
to where contracts are more realistic
Yeah.
for players and content creators. So, I always have to have the conversation now of, this is a business.
Hmm.
So if you're not, obviously you're not going to win every tournament,
Right.
but if you're not placing high, if you're not creating content, then there's no give for us.
Right.
Like you're not representing the org, you're not helping the org.
Mm.
So what makes me want to put my name down on a piece of paper that says I'm going to give you X amount and X, requirements
Right.
and stuff like that. And a lot of players just don't understand that. They just think, if we play the game, we compete, then we'll get the entire backing of the organization. It's
It's
like,
crazy.
dude, this is a business.
Yep.
You know,
Very true.
we,
Very true.
we have to get something for you in order for us to give something
Yes.
back.
100%. Like I couldn't agree more with that. I think you said it well. Personally, I think now it's like it always feels like a beaten bush. It's crazy how people sometimes don't understand. Like it's like money doesn't grow on trees type of thing. It's like
No,
it does take work and it takes a lot of work and it's okay to put work on both ends of that too.
yeah.
How did you guys like when you guys got into the space? What was like your goal or vision within the community, like within the gaming community, or and what
Um,
it has grown to now? I guess.
really to kind of make a stand. We're really here to try to make a difference. We're not at that level yet where we can.
Mm,
We are going to be partnering with a mental health
wow.
company very soon. They're actually, if everything goes right, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the name of them or anything. They're
Yeah.
actually going to make an entire esports side of their platform
Wow.
dedicated to players and organizations. Yeah, really, really cool. I mean, I'm always a big advocate for that. I
Yeah.
mean, you see, I, I, I don't even know if I've lost count of how many people, in my timeline I'll see a year ODing,
Mm,
going on mental breaks. They can't take it anymore, leaving the game because they're just so stressed out.
right.
Um, at the end of the day, we're in a very sensitive spot, I
Hmm.
think, in society.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That there's a lot of people out there that and some people call them weak or whatever, but
Hmm.
they have issues,
Oh,
that
100%.
need help. Everyone needs help.
Everyone needs help. There's always a point in our lives, I think, like where there's a breaking point for everybody, I think,
Oh
and
yeah,
like there has to be a point is like where one people can feel comfortable to come to someone is like, hey, this is like, man, like I'm struggling with this, like I just need help,
yeah,
and sometimes I think it's an identity crisis too. Is like if I've put so much time into something, like, and it's not it, like am I still a person? Like it's like am I still worth it
yeah,
type of thing?
yeah.
And man, that I don't know. That's why it's like our identity can't be based in like the things that we do type of stuff. And man,
Mhm.
as far as just life and all that stuff, man, it's just not. We can't sustain it, and those things were never meant to satisfy us. But
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I applaud you on that, man. It's a hard space nonetheless, and toxic
it
place as we
is.
know and stuff. And it's sometimes the weight is very heavy.
But it's awesome. Like In my time doing this, I've had serious talks with four people, as in like they were either borderline suicidal
Hmm.
or they are really, really, really struggling.
Hmm.
And this is at the point of where, I'll just hear them bring it up casually.
Yeah.
And, I'll pull them to the side. I'll have a conversation with them, make sure everything's good. And, they'll basically explain that, like, they're okay.
Hmm.
But, what we're doing and how we're helping and how they're a part of a family environment with Exile and how we're helping them grow and everything is just, that's their positive in life.
Yep.
And being able to make that impact is so we're starting a thing with content creators to
Okay.
where twice a month we're doing teachings.
Okay.
So we're going to be teaching like Twitter algorithms,
Wow.
TikTok algorithms, Instagram. We're going to teach how to certain requirements for YouTube,
Yeah.
tags, search engine optimization. So we're offering that to our creators completely free because we want we're here to help them.
Yep.
Same thing with players. We're here to help the players. We want to
Hmm.
build their brands. There's a lot of changes we want to make in the community. There's some, I told you like earlier, the little event was sounded maybe a little crazy. We're getting
Right.
ready to do something that might sound a little fucking insane.
Hey man, hey,
It's
it's the big moves like that, man, that make like the big waves. You know what I'm saying? It's that's cool.
yeah, it's like because I can't talk too much on it at the
Yeah, no
moment
worries.
because it's like Patience 2 is going to be like, yeah, so we ran a $2,500 event last time, so we decided to 100x that.
Right, that's good, bro. I love that. Heck yeah,
And
man.
so, we're in the process of pitch decks, investors. We're trying to figure out how to, the Call of Duty scene's really been struggling. So we've
Hmm.
even brought up the idea of what if we, ran our own league, an Exile League,
Wow, yeah,
and like a huge one, like a Call of Duty World Championship for amateurs,
wow,
5 majors, 20 events,
dude,
12 online events. And see, I'm not afraid to say something like
that
that
would
because
be good.
I know no one else out there is crazy fucking enough to do it.
Dude, that would be really cool to see,
um,
like within the space, especially for like some of the like the AMs and low AMs and
um,
stuff like that, like building their way up.
oh yeah, it's one of those things. But like Call of Duty players these days, they will never see a main stage. Maybe like
Oh
one
yeah.
out of 20,000.
Hmm.
That's if they get on a pro team, they're never going to see a main stage, and it's so sad to see.
Oh yeah.
It's heartbreaking, honestly, because I used to be a competitor.
Hmm.
I used to be a competitor back in the day when it was not franchised, where there was
Yep.
actually a chance you will see the main stage.
Very true.
Um, and so something like that is very, very needed right now. And we're actually in that phase of like, trying like getting ready to start planning it and getting pitch decks together and talking to the right people to try to make
Right.
it happen. Because it's not one of those things that could just happen overnight.
Yeah,
We're
that's a thing that takes a lot of time and growth, energy, effort, all sorts of stuff,
a
man. For
lot
sure.
of partners because it's not a small chunk of change either you're
Nope.
asking for. And
Especially with if you want to do like a few majors and like 5 majors and stuff and a champs
uh,
like type thing, dude. That's a lot of effort for sure, to say the least, man. That's really cool. Speaking of like a lot of effort and everything, is like tell me a little bit about you guys' team as far as like your base team, and then kind of one how you guys met. I'm curious on that, like how you guys met and everything, but also just who you have under yourselves like right now.
so I'll go kind of org wise
Yeah,
because our esports we're in the process of rebuilding
nice.
because I think this is something that I'll preach to a lot of organizations
Yeah.
is that whenever you get to a point where, like I said, you're starting to look at contracts and you're starting to actually bring in something tangible, you need to really look at who's around you.
Mm.
And you need to make sure that the right people you're supporting that are also supporting you. And so we're in this phase right now of growth and rebuilding. For example, we used to have 30 members. We have 16.
Wow. Okay.
So but we're stronger than ever.
Yeah.
We basically after like I don't know, I'll call it the Great Cleanse. Uh, we had uh,
Gotta happen.
we had a meeting, and at that time there was 8 of us,
Hmm.
and that was 2.5 months ago. And I was like, guys, this is it. I was like, these are the ones. Obviously a lot of people left. We actually only maybe removed 5 people, but most of them left. They were like big orgs are
Right.
toxic, and I was like, what? I was like, we have such a family environment,
Yeah, I get that.
but people will be people,
It's true.
and so we had 7 people, and then we brought in Peaksy Peter, which
Hmm.
is one of Corey's guys. He's vice
Yeah.
president of operations, and then he moved over here. He's still working with Corey. He's my general manager now, and me and him have just been tackling. And before that, it was me and Sorrows and Matt. Sorrows is my general director. He was general manager. Then I moved him up to make that spot for Peaksy. And then I had Matt, my chief of operations, and we were just kind of grinding, making plans, content plans. Literally right before we got into the podcast, I was meeting with Peaksy. We were coming up with new content ideas. We're working on a 6 to 12 month roadmap.
Wow.
We're contacting, we're getting into the partnership and seed round of investing. So we're contacting. I mean, shit, we're probably me myself. I mean, we all three have emails, but I know me myself have probably sent out 55 emails with our pitch decks. I
Man.
probably yeah, it's a lot at the moment.
Yeah,
but
dude, that's a lot of work for sure.
we have our 5 content creators that we brought in, which are all really really awesome. They're all just grinding. They all want to see an end result. And we have Mercosis, Kolb, Token, Grimy, Spreezy, Prodigy, and Bendy.
Nice.
Bendy is the newest one. That's why I couldn't remember his name for a
that's
second.
I get it.
Merc is awesome. Token is awesome. He got a first Black Esports commit in the state of Texas for a scholarship.
Dude. Very cool. Very cool.
We
I
went up
think
to
I
Dallas.
see that. Was that on Twitter? Did you guys post on Twitter recently? Okay, I remember seeing it then. It's like, that's awesome, dude. So cool.
Yeah. We went up to Dallas. We were on the news. We did a
Dude,
whole
awesome.
interview. It was really awesome experience. He's going to Ottawa University. He has an esports scholarship there, and really proud of him. But really proud of all my guys.
Yeah,
we have an Apex team in the works right now. We have a Splitgate team in the works right now. There's going to be a huge announcement on that in the next week. And then we have I'm getting into virtual reality esports.
Nice, dude. I have seen some clips of people. There was one I saw the other day. I think they were like quick scoping or something like that in like a VR. I was like, oh my gosh, bro! Like gaming's evolving. This is gonna be nuts.
Posted that, and I'm telling you, so I have a VR. My Oculus is actually on the couch.
Heck yeah, dude.
But I've always told my guys since I came. Like Exile started back up, I told him, I said, the moment I see any traction in VR, I'm jumping on it.
Heck yeah.
I recommend that for any organization because VR is going to be in esports.
It's
just a matter of time.
It's true. I think so too, man. It's like as soon as it gets the graphics it needs, the cleanup as far as like functions, the engines, all that stuff, man. Once that gets up there, man, it's gonna be an insane like what people are gonna be able to do like in a VR type setting of like gaming. Oh man,
imagine having a team of like all like special forces.
Dude, that'd be insane, bro. It's like, can you imagine this stuff? Like oh my gosh, just crazy to me. So cool. Just where gaming is going.
I'm telling you, and so yeah, VR. I'm super excited about that. We are scratching for a team right now. We are crawling. We are yelling, because they're just for one few and far, and two they're it's such a new scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like gaming was like 10 years ago, stuff like that, like Black Ops 2, like even before that and everything, how slow it was, like that grassroots was beforehand and stuff. It seems like that's what it's going to be right now, but maybe 5-10 years, something like that, maybe sooner than that, because tech is like it's faster and faster by the day, so it might get bigger quicker.
The new Oculus headset's going to have, I think it's around 3,000 resolution per eye.
Wow.
Which is like insane.
That is insane.
I think right now it has either 700 or 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Graphics are just going to go crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. That's unreal. Watching VR, bro, is like an insane thing for me, man. Anytime that I like see something, I think it's the Beat Saber or something like that. The first time I saw that, bro, I was mind blown. I was like, holy crap. And when someone's good at it, it's like really good at it. I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, bro.
They just did the Beat Saber World Championship. World
bro.
Cup, they called it.
Oh my gosh. That's freaking nuts to me. It's like that one alone, man. It's like, it's crazy. I tried it one time. I was like, I about freaking fell over, like, because like it was something new to me. I was like, holy cow, bro, this is something else. But it's a really cool thing. I can't wait to see where that like takes off as far as like gaming goes and competitive in that.
Oh, I'm excited. It's gonna happen. It will.
Yep, for sure, man. Moving a little bit further, like the harder stuff of like you guys' org, what are some like adversities that you guys have faced, like that you can attest to, that you can talk through and stuff, or that that you guys have faced just over the past like however many years, man?
Oh, I'm excited. It's gonna happen. It will.
Moving a little bit further, like the harder stuff of like you guys' org, what are some like adversities that you guys have faced, like that you can attest to, that you can talk through and stuff, or that you guys have faced just over the past like however many years, man?
Um, so man, where do I begin?
It's there's always a
Uh,
lot. I would hope for a good orcs, man. There's always a lot.
there's a very long list, and that's kind of one of the things that sucks in this kind of realm is that I've tried contacting orgs before to like more prominent organizations
Mm.
to be like, hey man, can I get a meeting with you?
Oh
And
my
you
gosh,
just
yeah.
you don't get a response. And I'm not even talking like big organizations. I'm talking just guys that have like a few thousand more followers than us that I see are just doing some cool project.
Yeah, bro.
And yeah, it's just such a competitive space that it's really hard to I don't know get direction.
Hmm.
And so it's just trial and error is the way I've
Dude, just the adversity as far as like that you guys have faced, but it is crazy to me how some of the organizations that are kind of bigger or even slightly bigger, bro, that like
gone.
it's almost it seems like an ego, maybe it's not an ego. I'm not like saying one way or the other, but it is kind of frustrating to just like trying to learn, and people are either like oblivious to it or just don't care, one or the other, one which way or the other. I'm not sure, but that's a hard thing to do when you're just trying to learn.
It's yeah, it sucks, And I don't know if you remember there was an org called Panda Esports, Panda
I do.
Gaming.
Yeah.
It used to be huge, and
Yeah,
now
dude.
they're in like Super Smash Bros and stuff like that. They're still
Wow.
pretty big in that
Yeah.
scene. But I remember when I watched it when I came back into Exile. I watched his video of like starting an esports
Hmm.
organization. I was like, all right, this guy knows a lot. I stopped watching it after the first minute because he goes, if you're thinking about starting an esports organization, don't. And I was like, all right,
Not the guy I want to listen to.
this guy. And then about I don't know, maybe until like 5 months ago, I was like, you know what? I get what he's saying because
Right.
if you don't have the heart, if you don't have the guts, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the stress limits,
Mm,
I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I was breaking out in hives all over from stress,
yeah.
and I'd be in Discord, my neck would start breaking out, and my neck would get all red, my arms would get
Mm,
red. It's just one of those things you have to have a high tolerance for it, and, especially when you're at I know we've grown a lot faster than other orgs, which just comes with more problems, which I'll get into.
I do agree.
But yeah, he said don't do it, and I never went back to that video until a few months ago, and I was like, man, I get
Maybe I should watch the rest of it.
it. He basically just said that's what I just said. If you don't have the heart, don't have the guts,
Mm,
don't do it. Save yourself some time and money. Not saying don't give it a shot,
no, yeah.
but so started it up. We immediately hit the ground running. I mean, it was kind of slow. I did something that wouldn't work today, but I still had it up until about maybe 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
I would have our following count after our name. And so it'd be like Exile Gaming, like, 1.5K.
Yeah.
And when I came back in, retweet pages were still a huge thing.
Yeah, dude. I remember, yep.
And so, you would tag a page and they'd retweet your stuff.
All your stuff. Yeah.
I think in the first month, I didn't even really mean to do this. I just kind of saw it happening. I think in the first month, we had like 2 or 3 thousand mentions.
Wow. Holy cow, dude. That's crazy, bro. Oh my gosh.
But every month it was the same thing: 1,000, 2,000
Yeah.
mentions, 1,000, 2,000 mentions. We had 1,000, 2,000 followers, and we probably had 65,000 profile visits.
Wow.
And,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah,
That's freaking nuts, man.
that's kind of what kick started it. And then we got into going to an event. We went to 2 events. Man, those were nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring in too much detail. I had to
Hmm.
kick one guy out of the Airbnb. Um, that was rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
That
just
is
came in. I
rough.
was like, all right, man, time to check out. He's like, what are you talking about? We don't check out tomorrow. I was like, no, 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 time to check out.
For you. It's like, yeah, bro. Oh man.
Yeah. And then went to a second event. That was rough. We got DNR'd both events.
Hmm.
Um, and from there, we kept growing, kept growing, kept growing. I was like, this is awesome. We're growing so fast. On top of that, it was also a lot of marketing. We did a ton of giveaways. We did a ton of partnerships.
Yeah.
I was going down every alley. Me and Call of Duty Agent have probably done 3 giveaways together. We've done, I think, 2 partnerships. Me and Corey have done a ton. Right now I know we're trying to work with like Rocat Gaming and stuff. We did a
Hmm.
bunch with Halo Agent. We did a lot of charities. A lot of partnerships is really how we got a lot of our growth.
Right.
And then a lot of really interesting marketing.
Interesting. Heck yeah.
But So yeah, after those events, I kind of realized I was like, all right, well, I'm already probably $5,000 down the toilet. We have no interaction. We have no like rep. I was like, going to an event would be cool.
Yeah.
You maybe get some reputation. And then I kind of just realized I was like, sending a team to an event without actually having like a T16 team, kind of a waste of money.
Yeah. Get
Um,
that?
because I'm gonna send these guys out there, pay for an Airbnb, pay for jerseys, pay for team pass,
Hmm.
and I'll be lucky if I see some of that back.
Right.
So I stopped doing that. That was probably my biggest decision. We kept growing, kept growing, kept growing. There's a reason why I keep saying that. You'll see in a second.
Yeah, dude.
Then comes January. We run the event. We started playing in it. Got with Icy Chiller.
Yep.
Started talking about the bigger stuff I was talking about earlier, and I was like, I might sound fucking crazy, but what if we did this big event and then also did like this kind of like league thing? And then he was like, you are fucking crazy.
That sounds like
Another
Ice
month
Chiller,
ago,
man. That guy,
yeah.
man.
And then as a month ago, here comes the meetings with Icy Chiller. I'm sending him a voice message on my phone. So, you remember whenever you called me fucking crazy? Yeah. So we actually need to get a meeting together because this is probably going to happen.
There you go, man.
um, So yeah, we get the event together. We run the event. And had a ton of problems there,
Yeah.
and we didn't have too many like big struggles in the first like 3 to 6 months. It was
Hmm.
pretty like normal trial and error things. Just kind of going with it. And the event kept growing. We got I think 500,000 impressions from that event alone. Uh, growing. Bam, we hit this wall of
Really.
where we've grown so much, our infrastructure has been outgrown. We have a lot of people, we have a big following,
Hmm.
we don't have the funds, we don't have the internal staff, we don't, it's just we hit this huge brick. And that's whenever we were, doing this nice steady increase, and then literally wham. I mean,
Dang.
we had a tier two Valorant team. They, scrimming teams like TSM, T1.
Wow.
We had a Halo team that was going against Optic in the opens. They play 17 at Raleigh.
Wow.
We had a Call of Duty team that was just destroying the scene with Xeno and Sorrows and
Hmm.
them. We had one of the top three dudes in Warzone as a streamer. We had amazing streamers creating a lot of content, and then we hit that wall, and
Right.
everything just bam went down.
Dang.
And one of my guys explained it pretty well. He goes, "It's kind of like God was like, y'all need to take it a little easy." And there's a really good quote that I like, and it's you can't ask for something you're not ready to receive.
That's so true.
And yeah, that actually really hit me over the last month, and I think that's kind of why everything's kind of coming into place right now.
Mm.
And it's kind of one of those things to where we had to take a step back. That's what we did. I got all of my guys into a meeting, and I was like, okay, we need to look at everything. It's kind of like writing everything down on a whiteboard, taking a step back, and just sitting there and go, what is this? What's going on? How can we fix it? It's line by line. Let's figure it out. That's my favorite
Right.
thing. Line by line.
Love that.
I'm so ADHD. I
I
can't do
I'm
everything at
like
once.
squirrel, bro. Like freaking. Anytime we're in like, if I'm in a meeting and stuff, it takes all I have to like focus
Oh
on
yeah.
the task at hand. Sometimes.
Oh yeah. And so I always say that to my guys. If it's too much, just break it down,
Right.
one thing at a time, line by line. And we looked at I told everyone, I was like, everyone pull up an organization that you love. Let's analyze it over the next 20, 30 minutes. Let's figure out what they're doing. Let's figure out what we're doing.
Well.
Let's figure out, let's compare them and
Yeah.
see what we can do better. That actually ended up working. That was a really productive meeting. Started on the coming up, got into kind of like I got the right people in my circle to teach me how to investing and getting a seed round running and getting sponsors and partners, and we're kind of at the end phase of that, of getting everything together.
Right.
We're already past we're at the end of like the contacting and meetings phase and stuff like that, and I got to travel next month to go talk to a guy, and so that hopefully that goes really well.
Yeah,
What's
man.
actually this month. um and we've just been in this kind of rebuilding phase
Hmm.
of we went from million impressions easily down. We probably dropped in 1 month down to about 50.
Hmm.
and then from there it's just been this rebuilding,
Wow.
we kind of just dipped, and then now it's just this constant nice little hill, which
Like
is what
slope.
you want to see.
Yeah, yeah,
You
absolutely, very true.
before you were like this, you don't
Yeah,
want to see this
right.
because this usually falls after.
Yes, absolutely. Like once you get to the top, man, like there's something that's gonna fall
Yeah,
at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like I just what you said earlier, man, about the quote of like not asking for something that you're not ready to receive yet, man. Like that's a really really good thing, and just
really
sometimes
is.
I think God will kind of withhold things from us if we're not ready for those things, and like
Yeah,
sometimes it really is like, hey, like maybe it's just wait a little bit longer. Like maybe it's just wait a little bit longer. Like
yeah.
take a step back, like you were saying. Like see the people that have the same vision as you in the
Mhm.
organization, and that's one thing that I've been going through right now, actually, too, is just trying to find people with the same vision, with the same goals, and the attributes and stuff to seek what we want to seek and stuff like that. But it continue on. It's like you guys saw that like that really deep drop and stuff, and like now you guys are
Oh
seeing like
yeah,
a steady increase and stuff, and
yeah. Now we're coming back. It's content plans, content
yeah,
is what we're pushing right now. That's what our meetings this week are going to be about. And then, I mean, you saw my calendar.
yeah,
I have tons of just every day it's packed, which is good. It's
yeah,
good at the
absolutely, I
moment.
get it.
It's nice. And so we have huge things coming out with merch. We started Exile Productions, which is our subsidiary for event running. We have the Exile NFTs going, which that project has done really well.
Mm.
We gained 5,000 followers from that. We were up 6,000 followers, and then literally within the span of 8 hours, Twitter decided to remove 1,000 of them.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if they were bots or not, because whenever you fill out sponsorship applications, you
Yeah.
have to put in a Twitter audit.
Okay.
Our Twitter audit is always at 98%. I even paid for the pro version to like remove
Right.
bots
To make
because
right.
I want to keep it high. I don't
You
want it
want
to
to keep
100%,
right. Exactly. Yeah.
98%. And yeah, overnight we lost 1,000 followers. I woke up the next
Dude.
morning, we were at 15.3, we're at 14.3, and now we're fighting the loss of followers with
Hmm.
gaining. We're probably gaining anywhere from like 20 to 50 a day, but at the same time, it's like it's this weird cycle that's happening. We're kind of in this weird like stuck moment and like
Hmm.
follower wise, but um, other than that, I mean that was honestly our biggest struggle. I mean, there's a ton that I could go into detail, but I don't
Yeah.
want to take all the time.
I get it. I
It's
get it.
just
And that man, I just those valleys and those lows, man, they friggin' happen. But it's like I think like that's where a
oh
lot of
yeah,
like the growth happens too, as far as like you as a person, and then like obviously you as guys
oh
as an
yeah.
organization, that family type unit coming together, and it's like, man, what are we doing? What could we do better? What could we grow on? What could we do differently? Stuff like that, you know. And man, that's the adversities, they'll come. I mean, that's just the fact of life. Like they are gonna come. As like, are we gonna be ready for them, or are we just gonna roll over and die? Or are we gonna like take it on the chin and keep moving forward? You know?
That's one of those things that you just have to keep moving forward. I mean, like I said, we're in, with you also running an organization, we're in such an oversaturated market
Yes.
to where you really have to do things to like do your best to kind of stand out.
Mm.
And it can be rough at times. It can be really, really depressing. I mean, as an owner, like, I mean, there's going to be those weeks where you're down in the dumps. You don't want to
Yeah,
get
dude.
up. You don't want to get on your computer. You don't want to do this shit, but you have to.
Mm.
And it's just you have to get the shit done. It's not a choice. It's not an option because there's a
There's
lot of people like right now there's 16 people that depend on me,
right.
to get up every day and like take care of my shit.
Mm.
So it's very rewarding as well,
Yeah, dude.
you know. But then you also have those times where for a few months I was like, this kind of sucks. But in my
Yeah.
brain, I was like, if I just keep going and keep pushing, like we're gonna get to a point to where a lot of this can be taken off of my shoulders. I can
Yeah.
start delegating tasks to people that I trust, and like it will be fun. But at the moment, I'm having to work 8 to 10
Yeah.
hour days, go home and work another 8 hours, and then get 4 or 5 hours of sleep
Hmm.
while trying to balance family, friends, and a relationship.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is rough.
It's hard, man. It is hard, hard, hard. And dude, you said it really well. I'll leave it at that, man. That's very true. And just keep trucking through for anybody that's running an org out there, man. Just
That's
keep
so
trucking through, dude. Keep
keep
trucking.
going. There's so many I know you'll see it too. Like you see it all the time. There's so many orgs that just they just die off, and it's just
Hmm.
so sad.
Yeah.
Like Rated Gaming was the last one.
Wow.
I don't know if you saw it.
Hmm.
They're not around anymore. And, that really sucks, man. I love that organization. Rated Gaming, they figured it out near the end. They were really professional. Their content was, but I told Corey for the longest time, I was like, man, they have to have a human side. That's the biggest thing to an organization.
Yep.
You have to have that content side that people can see your face.
It draws people in. It's like it's that family style that we were talking about. It's like that you guys are a part of the family, just like the people in the organization, and like they gotta feel that somehow. And like if you can figure that out, dude, you got it.
Oh yeah, if you could figure out the whole, right now we're kind of in the jab right hook phase where
Yep.
you have to bring your audience, then you have to really connect with them,
Hmm.
and it's just that human nature. It's human connection.
Yeah.
No one, you're not really going to build a huge audience with just people looking at a gaming screen.
Yes.
There has to be someone behind the screen.
Yeah.
And I told Corey that I was like, dude, if Rated Gaming could just figure that out, I said they would be a huge
Mm.
organization. And I don't know if Corey talked to him. I don't know if the owner figured it out. If
Right.
the owner was like, okay, let's start doing this, and all of a sudden they did, man, and they're up 4,000 followers. I think 2 months ago they had 1,000 followers. They just really brought out that human side on top of their really professional side. I want
Yeah.
to be at their professional side
Yeah.
with our human side, so we do really good, like posting content, having
Yeah.
clips.
I am like I think I'm that way as well, bro. It's like I'm pretty solid on like the human side as far as like joking around with
Yeah.
people and trying to draw people in and stuff. Or like because I usually got that charismatic self and like in the people like within us and stuff too have that charismatic feeling about them and stuff too. But it's like the professional side that is like the harder thing I think most for me
Yeah.
personally, and for others it's completely flipped. You know?
It's yeah, it's sad, man. There's a lot of orgs that go down the drain.
Yeah, dude,
It's
it's rough.
but it's just motivation to keep going.
Absolutely, dude. Be
You
the
know?
be the difference in within the community and stuff. One
Yeah.
one last kind of question I've got for you guys, man, is like, you guys got any plans that you can attest to that you can talk about and stuff for the future that you'd be able to just give us out?
So there's so much that I can't go into detail,
Right.
like because right now, I mean, it's gonna be shoot, dude, the next 2 months. I mean, like, so last year we had a goal of 10,000 followers. This year we have a goal of 25,000 followers.
Nice.
And we just had a meeting earlier, and with like everything that's going on, I was like, dude, we could honestly up this to 50.
Wow.
Like, there's so many things being set in motion right now, especially like I said, we have the tangible side coming in with funding and with
Yeah.
our seed round of investing. There's so many doors that are being open, and like I said, you have to be ready to receive it. You can't. We realized that a month ago. I was like, nothing, or 2 months ago, I was like, nothing's really going on. And then I saw the Steve Harvey posted about it,
Hmm.
and it hit me so hard. I was like, holy shit! Like, how can I be asking for XYZ when I we haven't really broken down what we're going to do with XYZ and how to
Right.
use it and what we're going to, what's the time span, what's the ROIs, what's,
Wow.
you know, who's going to get what's going to do what. And as soon as we figured that out, then, things just started clicking,
Hmm.
you know. But right now, man, we got the Exile NFT project coming out in 2 weeks. We
Heck
have
yeah.
content in full production. We have 3 videos on the back burner. We're just waiting for one more so we can have the 2 videos are like the catch up. You always want to be a couple videos ahead so you have a
Ahead, so you
consistent
have,
schedule.
dude. Yes, that is a hard thing to do, man. Just from my
Oh yeah.
perspective, and like usually, like I'm the one like filming all the stuff, editing all the stuff, and everything. It's like we need some help, but dude, that is a tough one, man. The grind to
It
have
really is.
content in place.
Especially when you're dealing with multiple people that all have different schedules.
Yes,
And tomorrow we were going
biggest
to
one.
do a Warzone kill race, and then
Nice.
Token's like, "Man, I got work." Oh no, he said he doesn't have work. He's moving to Ottawa.
Oh
He's moving
wow,
to his dorm room.
he's right.
And I was like, "All right, well, shit, maybe we can do Friday or Saturday." But the video was planned for last Friday, but then Marcosis got COVID,
Dang,
and so it's like one of those things to
it's
where
like
it's
one thing after another. That's
yeah,
freaking
and
rough.
so yeah, we got the Exile MC project. We have an entire merch line coming out. We're coming out with streetwear. We have a partnership that I can actually show on the podcast because it's
Nice.
going live. We got Overkill Labs is going to be our newest partnership.
Yo,
Um,
plug.
I
Nice.
don't know. We got a full. Those guys are awesome. We had a hour long meeting that turned into a 3 hour long meeting, and those
Mm.
guys are absolutely incredible. I'm really excited to announce that later this week. We have a couple events coming up. We have a smaller event coming up, which I can talk about. We are going to be hosting an event at the Land Center in
Nice, dude.
Mississippi in a few months.
Very cool.
So yeah, man, a lot going
Dude,
on.
that is so
There's a
awesome, man. That is really encouraging to hear, man. Just like another org in the space, man, that's just doing like so much and just different things or whatever within the space, and just like what you guys do. One, just for your people and stuff too within your
yeah.
org, and sometimes we can chug and chug and chug and not like and forget to look after the people like with inside our org too. And
Oh,
man, I applaud you guys on that, doing that,
thank
just
you.
reaching out to one another. And man, that it truly is like a family setting. And man, that's what will propel you forward, is that family
Mm-hmm.
unit. It's not the numbers in a sense, it's the people within it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we've got this far with, maybe a total, like I said, under max, we had 30 people, but behind the scenes, there was really, 5 or 6 that were doing
Well,
all the work. And so you don't need a huge team behind you. You
right.
just need you need some guys or gals that have the same mindset, the same vision, and are
Dude,
ready to work hard.
absolutely, man.
So,
Dude, that is so true. Man, that's like we burned through that, man. That was like the fastest hour I've ever had with somebody, I think, man. That was so good, man. I appreciate you hopping on the podcast with me, man.
no, for sure, man. It was a lot of fun. It really was.
Heck yeah, dude. Hope we'll do it again sometime. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Mr. Dylan, Exile Avenger from Exile Esports Gaming. Do you guys go by gaming or esports? Which one is it?
We got the gaming.
Gaming. Okay, it's like I like the gaming better personally than esports most of the time in the space. But nonetheless, it was Exile Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check them out on Twitter, all that good stuff, man. On all their socials, we'll link it down below. But hope you guys have a wonderful day. Just something great, grand, wonderful. We love you guys. Advanced Kingdom is always a dude's act. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.